What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am MLB Chatterbox. My name is Christian Corey. You see the title and the thumbnail in today's video. I will be giving you my predictions for the AL Central, the junior circuit, in this video. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty, guys. So, the team that will end up in the cellar in the Central Division, in my opinion, not a surprise here, will be the Cleveland Indians. Yes, they will be 61-101. That's what I got them, rounding out here in the 2021-162 regular season. Indians sucked. I mean, they lost their shortstop, their all-star shortstop, Francisco Lindor, to New York. One of their, better pitchers in Cookie Carrasco. Carlos Carrasco is going to New York as well. He's over there now. And then a guy like Corey Kluber, he's been gone for a while. Same thing with Bauer. So they just have not had that same type of rotation, and the whole team is dismantled. I mean, they do have some good starting pitchers in the works and that are in the major leagues now. Like I said, lost a lot of pieces from that 2016 pennant-winning team. They're changing their name to God knows what. It won't be the Indians anymore. And if they were doing this and the team was good, I don't think the name change would be that big of a deal. But now I think they're just losing their name. They lost their all-star shortstop. They lost one of their, good pitchers in Carrasco. So, I mean, all this is collapsing at once for Indians fans. I mean, their roster isn't that great. Like I said, the rotation has some bright spots. You got Shane Bieber, the Cy Young Award winner last year, lowest ERA in the modern era since 1968, I do believe, with Bob Gibson. He did not pitch a full season, which some people may not like. I mean, if you look at his stats, 12 games, he was 8-1, a 1.63 ERA. I mean, that's very good, but again, some people may not like the fact that he didn't, play a full slate last season with the shortened season, but in my mind, I mean, records are made to be broken, and if you look at and go back in history, a guy like Roger Maris, he broke Babe Ruth's home run record with extra games. I do believe when Babe Ruth broke or set the record, he played in 154, and then in 61, they played 162, and Maris tied it, I do believe, in that 154 game span, but then he broke it past the 154, and people were mad. Should it be an asterisk next to it? In the same case scenario, whether it was Roger Maris or Shane Bieber, both guys were doing their job, and they just happened to do really well, and they can't help it. One guy played more games, and one guy played less games, so you can't really get mad at him for that. So that's kind of my opinion on it. And then Tristan McKenzie, very high on him. He's 6'5", which is wow. He's very tall. He's lengthy. I mean, if you look at him, he's not bulky when it comes to muscle mass. He doesn't look that big. He was 2-1, a 3.24 ERA, 33 1/3 innings pitched. And Ahmed Rosario replacing Francisco Lindor. He won't be Lindor, but he'll be a solid shortstop for a couple of years before they develop somebody or get another Francisco Lindor in there somehow. And then I think the two big guys would be Ahmed Rosario, like I said, and Eddie Rosario. I think Eddie Rosario could do really good in Cleveland. He has some good pop, a lefty. Maybe they could flip him at the deadline to a team like the Mets or a contender. I could see that happening with a guy like Rosario if he hits, 15, 20 home runs in Cleveland before the trade deadline. And then Franmil Reyes, obviously, a big DH in that lineup, 25 years old. If you look at his stats back in 2020 with the Indians, he played in about 59 games, so he played every day. He had about 9 home runs, but 70 strikeouts. I mean, that's not good in a 60-game season. But that's where I got the Indians. All right, so next I got the Royals in 4th place at 68-94. I mean, if you just look at the Royals roster for a sec, they got guys, okay? They got guys. The rotation isn't great, but I mean, they still got Wade Davis in that bullpen who can always, bounce back. They just signed up Salvador Perez for another 4 or 5 years, whatever it was. The biggest, contract in franchise history a couple of days ago. They got Carlos Santana who can really bounce back and be a big threat for them in that lineup. Hunter Dozier, they signed him to a deal. He's looking pretty good. You got Whit Merrifield, Mr. Consistent, just a pure hitter. I like him. Played every day, 60 games. He had 30 RBIs, 9 home runs, 70 hits. I mean, he's just a good hitter. I like Whit Merrifield a lot. Only 33 strikeouts. a 282 batting average. And they got Jorge Soler. Hopefully he can bounce back from his 2019 campaign, which was great. Then last year just fell off the table. I mean, the guy hit almost 50 home runs in 19, I do believe. Alberto Mondesi is like a gazelle out there. I think KC is ready. And Andrew Benintendi came over from the Red Sox. So they have a lot of good guys. It's just they all got to click for KC. They all got to click. I mean, I could roll off every guy in the lineup, and they're solid guys. They're not superstars on this team. Again, the rotation is going to be tough for them. But I kind of got them in 4th place. Again, I got the Tigers the same record at 68-94. And if you move over to the Tigers, now again, I'm biased here a little bit. But I mean, look, the Tigers, I know this team inside and out. The rotation is what the rotation is. I think the rotation is better than the Royals rotation overall. They're younger. They don't have that much experience. But, I mean, they're all 6'3". Every guy in this rotation is 6'3". You got Matthew Boyd, who can have a bounce-back season, a good lefty. I like him. He reminds me of Rich Hill with that curveball. I like him a lot. Tarek Skubal is actually doing really good, better than Casey Mize, their number 1 overall pick back a couple of years ago. I mean, he's 24, Skubal. So in spring training, Skubal's winless, a 1.50 ERA, 12 innings, gave up 8 hits, only 2 earned runs. So, I mean, he's doing pretty good in spring. I mean, Casey Mize is getting rocked in spring training. I mean, that's just the way it is. If you look at Casey Mize, what he's doing in spring, he's just not doing well. He's 1-2, a 9.90 ERA. I mean, that's terrible. 10 innings pitched, 12 hits, 11 earned runs. All the runs he gave up are earned. None are unearned, which is terrible. He's just been having a bad spring. Gave up 4 home runs, a grand slam to Didi in one of those games, I remember. But, God, he just had a really bad go of it. And they got Jose Urena coming over from the Marlins. They signed him. He could be really good. He looked pretty good today. I think he only gave up 1 run. He went into the 6th inning, what I could see on today's game against the Phillies. So he's been doing really good. Isaac Paredes, this guy, they say he's going to be the next, Carlos Guillen, but I don't see it. I just don't. He looks too fat. He's too chubby. I mean, he squats like he's taking a dump every time he's at the plate. The guy's 5'11", and when he's up at the dish, I mean, they make him like he's 5'2". I mean, come on, dude. I mean, you cannot crouch the way he does. And then obviously Miguel Cabrera is a big guy you all know about. I mean, he's going to play first base. He played first base today in a game against the Phillies. He looked really good, made a pretty good defensive play, a chopper to first. But he looked really good at first base. I think A.J. Hinch letting him, go back to first base will be a benefit for Miguel. Make him feel he's really valued by the Tigers, not just a DH. I don't think he likes that. But we'll see how he does over at first base. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt. Let's pray to God does not get hurt, because that's the way it goes with Miguel Cabrera. So, I mean, the Tigers will be just like the Royals, mediocre, not the best. Alrighty, guys, next on the list, I got the Twins in 2nd place at 87-75. Now, if you look at the Twins, I kind of wanted to put the Twins in 1st, but I there's something about the White Sox that I like a lot. And if you just look at the Twins real quick and how they're constructed, I mean, Kenta Maeda, he'll be solid. Jose Berrios, he'll be what he'll be. Michael Pineda, he'll be okay. AJ Happ, I mean, that's a 50-50 for him. I mean, he could be terrible. I mean, he was terrible in New York. He sucked. They got Alex Colomé, and they signed him, which was a big thing, because honestly, I know Alex Colomé isn't like Liam Hendriks type signing, but if you look at Liam Hendriks' stats and Alex Colome's stats, they're the exact same. I've said that in a previous video when Liam Hendriks signed with the White Sox. So I think them getting Colome is a very underrated move and good for that bullpen for him. I think he could be the closer. They're saying that Taylor Rogers is the closer. I don't know why. I don't know why Colome can't be a closer, because I think that's what Hendricks is going to be in Chicago. But if he can be a good setup man and maybe close out a couple of games for the Twins, I think that would be a benefit, because what he did last season with the White Sox is the exact same thing as what Liam Hendriks did last season with the A's. So it's I don't know. I like him. I think it's a good pickup. Miguel Cino last season, he played in 53 games. He hit 13 home runs. I mean, that's not bad. 13 home runs in 2020 looks better in 2020 than it did in 2018 when he hit 13 bombs. So, I mean, Everything's inflated, guys. This is the way it's going to be. 90 strikeouts. See, that's not good. You cannot have 90 strikeouts in a 60-game season. You just can't. I'm sorry. This is not acceptable. Nelson Cruz. I mean, the boomstick. 40 years old. You gotta love the guy. You have to love the guy. Last season, 53 games. He hit 16 home runs, 33 RBIs, and a .303 batting average. Again, the reason why I got the Twins in second is because I just got respect for the Twins. I just do. Again, overall, I think the White Sox are more talented. They have made leaps and bounds when it comes to improving their team in Chicago. And the Twins have been kind of mediocre. They picked up some guys here and there, but again, nothing really gigantic. They signed back Nelson Cruz, but that was really it. I mean, they got Colomé, which I think is an underrated move. So that's why I got the Twins at 87 and 75, and I got the White Sox in first place at 91 and 71. I think they're going to win over 90 games. I really do. I don't think it's going to be 100 stretching it, but in that division, it's going to be 91 wins. If you look at the White Sox rotation is very, very good. I mean, it's not great, but they just have a lot more experience and a lot more talent, I think, in that rotation. They got Lucas Giolito, they're number one. They got Dallas Keuchel, they're number two. They got Lance Lynn, which, again, was it the best move in the world? No. People in Chicago will be satisfied with Lance Lynn, but I don't think, he's going to be, an all-star necessarily. I just think he's going to be a solid piece for them to have in that rotation this season. And then obviously the closer, Liam Hendriks. He's done great. Again, in my mind, the Twins and the White Sox literally traded closers. The guy's like, okay, here, I'll give you this guy. I just want this guy because he's more handsome? I mean, the reason why I say that is because they're the exact same. Like I said before, Liam Hendriks and Alex Colomé had the exact same stats last season. I don't know why they wanted to go out and get Liam Hendriks. I don't know why they had to sign that gigantic deal. I just don't get it. If you look at Grandal, I mean, he's 10 times better than a guy like Salvador Perez, who signed that big contract with the Royals. I just think Yasmani Grandal will have a really good season this season. If you look at what he did last season, he had 8 home runs, which isn't great in a 60-game season. He had 27 RBIs. He walked 30 times. He struck out 58 times. He played in only 46 games. But if you look at what he did in Milwaukee, I mean, 153, that's the games he played in. He only struck out 139 times, which, that's a lot for a catcher. 28 home runs, though. Again, it's all power, guys. It's all power. You got the power, you get the money. So that's the way it's going to roll. And then if you look at his RBIs, 77 RBIs in 2019 and 27 last season. So again, last season is irrelevant to me. I could care less what he did last season. And then Nick Maggiore at first base. They're a really highly touted prospect. He's a good hitter. I think they could flip him at the deadline if they wanted to get a big arm. That's what I think his value is, honestly. Yohan Moncada, you gotta give him some respect. Tim Anderson thinks he's freaking Ricky Henderson over there, and the guy has an ego, almost as big as a swing. And again, Jose Abreu is the MVP, so you gotta expect him to be really good this season here in 2021. Alrighty, guys, that's all I got for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below your thoughts of today's video. Alrighty, guys, hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you later.